You just got paid 3 days ago and somehow your checking account already shows $200. You stare at the screen trying to remember where it all went. There was rent, sure. Groceries, obviously. But what about the other 2,000? It vanished. Not stolen, not lost, just gone. And the worst part? This happens every single month. Welcome to the invisible trap that's keeping 60% of Americans locked in financial stress despite making more money than their parents ever did. Today, we're breaking down exactly why your salary disappears in 7 days, and I promise you, it's not because you don't earn enough. Let me tell you about two people. Both make $75,000 a year. Same city, same age, same job, actually. Sarah and Michael work in the same office. On the surface, their lives look identical. But here's where it gets interesting. Sarah has $42,000 in savings and investments. Michael has $300 in his checking account and $18,000 in credit card debt. Same salary, completely different financial realities. The difference isn't luck. It's not inheritance. It's not even about being smart with money in the traditional sense. It's about something most people never talk about. The dopamine trap. And it starts the second your paycheck hits your account. There's this feeling that happens on payday. You log into your bank app and see that number. For exactly 48 hours, you feel rich. Your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that fires when you eat chocolate or win at gambling. And during those 48 hours, you make decisions. You order food instead of cooking because you finally can afford it. You buy that thing you've been eyeing for weeks because, hey, you just got paid. You say yes to drinks with friends because money just hit your account. And here's the psychology that nobody explains. Your brain doesn't register future expenses in the moment. Rent is due in 3 weeks? That feels like forever. Car insurance next month? That's a future problem. Right now, that number in your checking account feels like free money. And within 72 hours, $1,000 just evaporated. Not on anything memorable, just gone. Now let me explain the thing that nobody sees coming. Lifestyle inflation. And this is where people making $100,000 a year end up just as stressed as people making $40,000, maybe more stressed actually. Here's how it works. You get a raise. Let's say you were making $50,000 and now you're making $60,000. That's $10,000 more per year, roughly $800 more per month after taxes. Your brain immediately does this thing. It says, you've been struggling. You deserve to upgrade your life now, so you move to a nicer apartment. $200 more per month. You trade in your car for something newer, another $300 per month. You start going to better restaurants, start buying organic groceries, sign up for that gym membership you always wanted, subscribe to 3 more streaming services because why not? And just like that, your expenses rose by $800 per month. You're making more money than ever before, but you're saving exactly the same amount as before, which is probably nothing. The researchers have a term for this. Lifestyle creep, and according to recent studies, consumer spending grew nearly 6% between 2022 and 2023 across all income brackets, while only 54% of adults had enough savings to cover 3 months of expenses. People are earning more and saving less. The system is designed to absorb every raise you ever get. Better apartment, nicer car, faster phone, premium subscriptions, eating out more, buying conveniences. And before you know it, you're making $70,000 a year and somehow still living paycheck to paycheck. Let me break down the invisible money leaks that destroy your salary without you even noticing. These aren't the big obvious expenses. These are the silent killers. Food delivery. You're tired after work. You don't feel like cooking. You open the app. $15 for the meal, $5 delivery fee, $3 service charge plus tip. $28 for something that would have cost $6 if you cooked it. Do that 3 times a week and you just spent over $300 a month on convenience. Subscription creep. You signed up for Netflix years ago, then Disney Plus, then Hulu, then Spotify Premium, then that fitness app, then cloud storage, then the meditation app, then Amazon Prime. $10 here, $15 there, $20 over there. When did you last add them all up? For most people, it's over $200 monthly in subscriptions they barely use. One financial analyst tracked his spending for 30 days and discovered he was spending over $400 monthly on food delivery alone. $400. That's a car payment. That's a chunk of student debt. That's money that could be building wealth instead of buying temporary relief. But here's the thing nobody wants to admit. These purchases aren't about need. They're about emotion. You're stressed from work, so you buy something small to feel better. You're bored, so you scroll and shop. You're comparing yourself to people on social media, so you buy things to keep up. You're exhausted, so you pay for convenience instead of cooking. None of this is about the money. It's about what the money represents: control, relief, status, happiness. And the market knows this. That's why everything is designed to be one-click easy. That's why free shipping exists. That's why there's always a sale. That's why buy now, pay later is everywhere. They're not selling products, they're selling the feeling. And you're paying for it with your future. Let's go back to Sarah and Michael. Same salary, completely different financial lives. What's Sarah doing differently? It's not complicated. Every time Sarah gets paid, 15% automatically transfers to a savings account. She never sees it, never touches it. It's gone before she can spend it. That's $750 per month building wealth instead of evaporating. Her rent is $850, not $1,200. She could afford a nicer place, but she doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Her car is paid off. It's 7 years old. Runs fine. She could upgrade. But why take on a payment when the car works? She meal preps on Sundays, spends 90 minutes cooking, saves $300 a month compared to eating out and ordering delivery. She has 2 streaming services, not 7. She picks what she actually watches, cancels the rest. Small decision. Saves $120 monthly. Add it up. Sarah is living on roughly 60% of her salary and banking the rest. Michael is living on 110% of his salary using credit cards to fill the gap. The difference isn't income. It's not even financial literacy. It's psychology. Sarah treats savings like a bill she has to pay. Michael treats savings like something he'll do when he has extra money. Spoiler, there's never extra money if you wait for it to appear. That's not how human behavior works. Now, let me hit you with the uncomfortable truth that breaks people's brains. Increasing your income will not solve this problem. And I need you to really hear this. If you're broke making $50,000, you'll be broke making $70,000. If you're broke making $70,000, you'll be broke making $100,000. The number changes, the pattern doesn't, because the issue is not how much you make. The issue is the relationship between your expenses and your income. And for most people, expenses rise in lockstep with income. Sometimes they rise faster. There's data on this. One study found that about 1 in 3 Americans making over $100,000 per year still lives paycheck to paycheck. 6 figures, still broke. How is that possible? Lifestyle inflation, the nicer house, the second car, the private school, the better vacations, the organic everything, the premium subscriptions, the keeping up with the neighbors. Credit card debt in America surpassed $1.1 trillion in early 2025. People are earning more than ever and owing more than ever. And the trap is this: you think the next raise will fix it. Just need to get to 80,000. Then it'll be easier. Get to 80,000. Still struggling. Okay, just need to hit 6 figures. Then I'll be comfortable. Hit 6 figures. Still stressed. Because every time income rises, lifestyle rises to match it. And the gap between what you earn and what you save stays exactly the same, which is usually 0. So what's the actual solution? Because if earning more doesn't work and budgeting feels impossible, what do? The answer is a system, not motivation, not discipline. A system that removes human decision-making from the equation. Here's the framework that changes everything. When your paycheck hits, 15% disappears into savings immediately. Automatic transfer, not optional. You never even see that money. It's gone. That's your future. 65% goes to essentials: rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, the stuff you need to live. And here's the key. You cap it at 65%. If your essentials are eating 80% of your income, you don't make more money to fix it. You reduce essentials: cheaper apartment, cheaper car, cheaper phone plan. You control the 65%. The remaining 20% is guilt-free spending. This is restaurants, entertainment, shopping, hobbies, whatever you want. And here's why this is brilliant. You're not depriving yourself. You're not white-knuckling through life trying not to spend money. You have permission to enjoy 20% of everything you make, but it's contained. It doesn't bleed into savings. It doesn't bleed into essentials. 20%. That's your playground. The system is called 15-65-20, and it's based on wealth management strategies used by the top 1%. It's not sexy. It's not exciting. It doesn't promise to make you rich overnight, but it works because it removes the decision fatigue that kills most budgets. Let me show you what this looks like with real numbers. Let's say you make $5,000 per month after taxes, 15% to savings. That's $750. You never see it. It builds automatically. 65% to essentials. That's $3,250. This covers rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, phone. If your essentials cost more than this, you need to cut something. Cheaper housing, cheaper car, stop paying for parking, cancel expensive insurance, make the 65% fit, 20% for life. That's $1,000. This is eating out. This is entertainment. This is clothes. This is fun. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to feel guilty. It's yours. Spend it. Enjoy it. That's the point. Now here's what happens over time. That $750 per month in savings becomes $9,000 per year. In 5 years, that's $45,000 sitting in your account, not including any investment growth, just from saving 15%. Meanwhile, someone with the same income but no system, they have nothing. They're still living paycheck to paycheck. They're still stressed. They still think the next raise will fix everything, but it won't, because they don't have a system. They have hope, and hope is not a financial strategy. There's something that happens once you start doing this. Once you have savings building automatically, once you're not constantly stressed about money, once you realize you control the system instead of the system controlling you, you stop caring about stupid purchases. You stop comparing yourself to other people. You stop needing the dopamine hit from buying things because you have something better. You have security. You have options. You have a future that's not terrifying. And that feeling is worth more than any restaurant meal, any new gadget, any temporary pleasure you can buy. The people who figure this out don't look rich. Sarah doesn't drive a luxury car. She doesn't have the biggest apartment. She doesn't post shopping hauls on social media. She looks completely normal, but she's building wealth, quietly, consistently, while everyone else is performing success and going into debt to maintain appearances. This is what separates people who build wealth from people who just make money. It's not about how much you earn. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and whether you control that gap or let it control you. So here's the final truth that most people don't want to hear. Your salary disappears in 7 days because you let it, not because you're dumb, not because you don't earn enough, but because you're making 1,000 tiny decisions every month that prioritize feeling good right now over feeling secure long term. You're choosing convenience over savings, comparison over contentment, instant gratification over delayed reward, and the market is designed to make those choices feel easy. One-click ordering, same-day delivery, buy now, pay later, subscribe and save. It's engineered to drain you dry, but you're not powerless. You're just operating without a system. And the second you implement one, everything changes. Not because you suddenly have more money, but because you finally control where it goes. 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now, not because they don't work hard, not because they don't earn enough, but because they never built the system that makes savings automatic and spending intentional. You can be different, starting right now. 15% to savings, 65% to essentials, 20% for life. That's it. That's the whole system. Not exciting, not flashy, but it works. And 5 years from now, when you have real savings and everyone else is still broke and stressed, you'll understand why boring systems beat exciting promises every single time. If this video made you think differently about money, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the goal isn't to get rich quick. The goal is to stop being broke forever. There's a difference. See you in the next one.